Welcome to the Calm Science Channel. Tonight we'll drift toward one of the most demanding environments humanity has ever dared to enter. The instant we move beyond Earth, the familiar rules fall away. Breath becomes impossible. Sound vanishes. There is no surface beneath our feet and no atmosphere to soften the edges of reality. Space offers no comfort and no forgiveness. And still, we choose to explore it. Design machines powerful enough to break free from our planet's pull and prepare human bodies to endure conditions they were never meant to face. Every mission is a quiet negotiation between biology and the unknown. Traveling beyond Earth is not gentle, predictable, or safe. It is an act of courage driven by curiosity, and it continues because we are compelled to understand what lies farther out. If these calm explorations help you unwind, you're welcome to like or subscribe, or simply leave a quiet thought below. It helps others discover this space of rest. For now, there's nothing you need to do. Allow your breathing to slow, your shoulders to soften, and your thoughts to drift lightly. Let's begin. A spacesuit is not really clothing at all. It is a carefully engineered life system shaped like a human body. Outside it, there is no air pressure to keep fluids in place, and temperatures can shift from extreme heat to deep cold without warning. Inside the suit, layers work together silently. Soft inner fabrics draw moisture away from the skin. Structural layers provide pressure so the body doesn't swell in vacuum. Have outer materials shield against sharp particles moving faster than bullets. The visor is treated to reflect intense sunlight, while the backpack supplies oxygen, filters waste gases, circulates cold and water, and keeps the astronaut alive minute by minute. Even the smallest flaw could be dangerous, which is why every seam is examined with extraordinary care. When astronauts step outside their spacecraft, they are trusting this artificial world completely, carrying a small pocket of Earth with them into darkness. In orbit, the human body begins to change and settle with surprising ways, without gravity gently compressing the spine. The spaces between the vertebrae slowly expand. Astronauts often become slightly taller during their time in space. At first, this can feel relieving, but muscles and ligaments must adapt to unfamiliar links, which can cause stiffness or discomfort. Movement feels different. Rest feels different. And even sleeping requires adjustment when gravity returns on Earth. The spine settles back, sometimes bringing soreness along with it. These shifts offer scientists valuable insight into how bones, joints, and connective tissues respond to different gravitational environments. Knowledge that will be crucial if humans live for long periods beyond Earth. Although space itself is empty, astronauts often describe a distinct scent after returning from spacewalks. Tools and suits exposed to vacuum carry an unusual aroma once they re-enter the airlock. Some describe it as metallic, others as smoky or sharp. This effect comes from energetic particles interacting with spacecraft surfaces, creating chemical residues that linger briefly in the air. It's one of the few ways space announces its presence to human senses, a faint reminder that even in silence, the universe leaves traces behind. Gravity also plays a quiet but constant role in maintaining strong bones on Earth. Simply standing and moving provide the stress bones need to stay dense. orbit. That stress disappears, the body responds by gradually reducing bone density, especially in the legs and spine. Thinner loads released from bone enter the bloodstream and are eventually lost, which can affect both skeletal strength and kidney function. Astronauts spend hours each day exercising against resistance to slow this process, yet some loss still occurs. Recovery after returning to Earth can take a long time, and not all change is fully reversed. Understanding how to protect bone health remains one of the major challenges for future journeys to distant worlds. Light itself behaves differently beyond the atmosphere. From Earth's surface, the sun appears warm and gentle, filtered through layers of air. It scatters and softens its rays in space. The sun is dark and intensely bright, a sharp white presence set against absolute black. Without an atmosphere, there are no colorful sunrises or gradual transitions, only immediate brilliance and sudden shadow. Heat rises instantly, without warning. It is a reminder that much of what feels familiar to us exists subtly because Earth quietly shields us every day. Only KCDs are lazy is the minded. Police have to eternal me. He shifts offer scientists valuable insight into how bones, joints, and connective tissues respond to different gravitational environments. Knowledge that will be crucial if humans live for long periods beyond Earth. Although space itself is empty, unfiltered sunlight in space is powerful enough to damage materials in a very short time. Without Earth's atmosphere to soften it, solar energy arrives raw and intense. When an object moves out of that light, the transition is immediate. Shadows are not gentle gradients, but absolute darkness. This sharp contrast affects depth perception and makes judging distance more difficult. Cameras, sensors, and solar panels must all be designed to handle these extremes, adjusting constantly as spacecraft pass from brilliance into black. Every mission is carefully planned around this unforgiving light. It supplies energy, but it can also overwhelm electronics and overheat exposed surfaces for unprotected humans. It is dangerous within moments. The sun in space reveals how much Earth quietly protects life, filtering and scattering starlight before it ever reaches the ground. Eating in orbit requires precision. Meals must be contained, stable, and predictable. Loose crumbs or free-floating droplets can interfere with instruments or clog ventilation systems. For this reason, traditional bread is avoided in favor of flat alternatives that stay intact. Liquids are sealed in pouches and consumed through valves. Seasonings are mixed into food rather than sprinkled. And fresh produce is treated to reduce bacterial growth. Taste itself changes in microgravity. Fluids shift upward in the body, often causing nasal congestion that dulls flavor. To compensate, foods are seasoned more boldly than they would be on Earth. There are no stoves or freezers, only warming units and carefully packaged trays. Each meal is designed not for comfort, but for safety and nutrition. Rest in space also demands adaptation. Without gravity, the body does not naturally settle onto a surface. Astronauts sleep secured inside soft sleeping bags attached to walls or ceilings. Without these restraints, they would drift through the cabin during rest. Dreams can feel unusual as the brain processes weightlessness, sometimes creating sensations of floating or sudden movement. Some astronauts find this calming, while others struggle without the familiar pressure of a bed. The environment is never fully quiet. Fans circulate air, pumps regulate systems, and the structure itself shifts. Temperatures change despite witnessing multiple sunrises each day. Sleep schedules are aligned to Earth time, require discipline and adjustment. Even basic bodily processes behave differently. Without gravity, tears do not fall. Instead, moisture gathers into rounded droplets that cling to the eyes. These floating pools can sting, blur vision, and become difficult to remove. Lighting only breaks them into smaller spheres. Clearing them often requires repeated blinking until the liquid separates and drifts away. Emotional response is irritation, where fine particles can all trigger this effect. The human body evolved under very specific conditions. Even the spacecraft adds another layer of risk. During a spacewalk, astronauts are exposed to vacuum, temperature extremes, and the possibility of drifting away. Their suits must maintain perfect internal balance, supplying oxygen while removing carbon dioxide and excess heat. Movements are slow and deliberate, anchored by safety lines. Tools or tethered procedures are practiced repeatedly on Earth in large pools that simulate weightlessness. Even with preparation, every excursion beyond the airlock carries uncertainty. Orientation itself becomes unreliable in microgravity. The inner ear depends on gravity to help determine balance and direction. In orbit, air reference disappears. The brain must reinterpret motion and position without its usual signals. Up and down lose meaning. Some astronauts adjust quickly, while others experience nausea or confusion as their senses recalibrate. Simple actions require conscious control. Objects no longer fall when released. Muscles no longer brace. The body automatically. Over time, the mind builds a new internal map of space, but the transition can be disorienting. On lost pieces. In orbit, that reference disappears. Beyond these immediate challenges lies a quieter threat. Outside Earth's magnetic field, high-energy particles constantly pass through spacecraft and human tissue. Cosmic radiation and solar particles move fast enough to penetrate skin and cells, disrupting DNA at a microscopic level. On Earth, most of this radiation is deflected or absorbed by the atmosphere. In orbit, exposure increases significantly over time. This can raise the risk of cancer, weaken immune defenses, and damage sensitive structures like the eyes. Engineers work to improve shielding, but radiation arrives from every direction, Making protection difficult, each mission contributes to our understanding of how the human body responds to an environment filled with invisible forces. Fire behaves in unexpected ways when gravity is removed. On Earth, flames stretch upward as hot air rises and cooler air falls to replace it. In orbit, that movement disappears. Flames form soft, rounded shapes glowing steadily rather than flickering. Smoke does not rise away from the source, it lingers, spreading slowly and unevenly because combustion happens differently. Fires may burn more quietly, making them harder to notice. At the same time, dangerous gases can accumulate without obvious warning. This is why every component inside a spacecraft is tested for how it reacts to flame in microgravity. Astronauts train repeatedly for fire emergencies, learning how to isolate compartments, shut down airflow, and respond quickly in an environment where familiar cues no longer apply. Keeping the body strong in space requires constant effort. Muscles and bones depend on resistance to maintain their structure. Without gravity, that resistance vanishes, strength begins to fade, muscle tissue shrinks, and even basic functions like standing or walking on Earth can become difficult after long missions. To counter this, astronauts follow strict daily exercise routines. Machines are designed to pull against the body, using resistance systems that mimic weight. Harnesses allow astronauts to run in place while tethered, and specialized devices simulate lifting. These workouts are not optional, they are essential maintenance for the human body, necessary for survival during long stays and safe return home. Researchers continue refining these methods in preparation for journeys that may last years. Materials themselves behave differently in vacuum. On Earth, metal surfaces usually remain separate unless heat or pressure forces them together. In space, clean metal objects can bond simply by touching. Without air or moisture between them, atoms align and fuse in a process known as cold welding. This can cause tools to stick, joints to seize, or moving parts to lock unexpectedly. To prevent this, engineers coat exposed surfaces and carefully control how components interact. In the silence of space, even contact becomes a variable that must be managed. Taste also shifts in orbit. Foods that are flavorful on Earth can seem faint or muted. One reason is physical. Fluids move upward in the body without gravity, often creating pressure in the head that dulls smell and taste. Another reason is neurological. The brain adapts to constant suspension, subtly altering how sensations are processed. As a result, astronauts often prefer foods with strong flavors, sharp spices, or intense aromas. Meals are designed not only to meet nutritional needs, but also to support morale during long periods away from home. Appetite, comfort, and mental well-being are closely linked in confined environments. The balance system struggles during the first days in space. Eyes record stillness while the inner ear senses continuous freefall. This conflict can cause nausea, dizziness, and confusion, sometimes severe enough to interfere with work. Many astronauts experience this space sickness shortly after arrival. Medical teams manage symptoms with medication and gradual adaptation schedules. Over time, the brain learns to reinterpret signals and function in this new state. When returning to Earth, the process reverses, often triggering a second period of imbalance as gravity reasserts itself. Comfort and mental well-being. are closely linked. From inside a spacecraft, brief flashes of light can sometimes be seen. Tiny grains of dust and micrometeoroids strike the outer shell at immense speeds, releasing energy as they collide. These impacts can produce faint streaks visible through windows or even through closed eyes in darkened cabins. Each flash marks a high-velocity collision with material older than the planet itself. Though most impacts are harmless, they slowly erode surfaces. Flight paths are planned to minimize exposure, but complete avoidance is impossible. Even enclosed within metal walls, the presence of space is constant. Sustaining life beyond Earth also means learning how to grow it. Plants evolved under gravity, relying on clear signals to guide roots downward and stems upward. In microgravity, those cues disappear. Water does not settle evenly. Air does not separate naturally. Seeds can sprout in unexpected directions, and moisture can cling to roots in ways that cause stress. Despite this, experiments continue, exploring how plants respond when familiar forces are removed. Each attempt adds to our understanding of how life might adapt far from its original home. With thoughtful engineering, astronauts have learned how to coax life from seeds while orbiting Earth. Leafy greens, small root vegetables, and even flowering plants have been successfully cultivated in specially designed growth chambers. These systems rely on carefully timed artificial lighting, nutrient delivery through fine mist or gel, and controlled airflow to guide plant development. Brewing food in space serves a practical purpose, but it also carries emotional weight. It prepares humans for future settlements beyond Earth, while offering a quiet reminder that life can take hold even in unfamiliar places. Circulation changes almost immediately in orbit. On Earth, gravity constantly draws blood toward the lower body, and the heart works against that pull. In microgravity, fluids redistribute more evenly, often cooling in the upper body. Faces may appear swollen, legs may lose volume, and blood pressure behaves differently. Over time, the heart adapts by reducing muscle mass. Since it no longer needs to work as hard, medical teams monitor these shifts closely, studying how circulation, vision, and temperature regulation are affected. When astronauts return to gravity, the body must readjust once again, relearning how to move blood efficiently downward. Although space itself is silent, spacecraft are filled with sound. Air must be moved, filtered and refreshed. Encrines generate heat, and noise pumps cycle fluids through life support systems. This constant mechanical presence becomes the background of daily life. Over time, it can feel reassuring, a sign that everything is functioning as it should. But an unfamiliar noise can trigger immediate concern. The sudden silence can be even more alarming, suggesting a failure somewhere in the system. Inside a spacecraft, sound replaces natural cues like wind or rain, becoming the rhythm that marks safety and time. Like organisms also respond to life beyond Earth. Studies have shown that certain viruses behave differently in orbit, sometimes becoming more active or re-emerging from dormancy. The combination of radiation exposure, altered sleep cycles, stress, and fluid shifts in the body can weaken immune responses. Even when astronauts appear healthy by Earth standards, these changes can allow latent viruses to resurface. Understanding how microbes adapt in space is critical for long-duration missions, where medical support is limited and prevention becomes essential. Water behaves as strangely as everything else. Without gravity, it gathers into floating spheres that drift freely. Traditional showers are impossible. Instead, astronauts clean themselves using small amounts of water applied directly to the skin, then wiped away with towels. Hair washing follows a similar process. carefully manage to prevent droplets from escaping. Every drop is reclaimed through filtration systems, making water one of the most carefully controlled resources on board. These routines are about more than cleanliness. They provide a sense of normalcy and personal care in an environment where daily life is tightly regulated. Surfaces beyond Earth introduce new hazards. Dust on the Moon, for example, is nothing like soil on Earth formed by constant impacts over millions of years. The particles are sharp and abrasive. They cling to fabrics, scratch protective coatings, and work their way into seals and joints. During early lunar missions, this dust caused irritation in equipment wear after astronauts returned to their landers. Future missions, which will last much longer, must account for this threat. Engineers are developing materials and systems designed to repel or remove dust before it enters living spaces. Even grooming becomes a technical task. Hair does not fall when cut. Each strand floats freely, capable of drifting into sensitive equipment or airways. To manage this, astronauts use clippers connected to vacuum systems that capture hair immediately. Tools are tethered, mirrors are mounted securely, and movements are slow and deliberate. These small routines help preserve comfort and mental well-being. In an environment where nearly everything is engineered for survival, familiar habits take on new importance, helping astronauts maintain a sense of self while adapting to life away from Earth. Gloves worn during spacewalks are among the most challenging pieces of a spacesuit. They must shield hands from vacuum, extreme temperatures, Surfaces beyond Earth introduce new hazards. Dust on the Moon, for example, is nothing like soil on Earth formed by constant impacts over millions of years. The particles are sharp and abrasive. They cling to fabrics, scratch protective coatings, and work their way into seals and joints. During early lunar missions, this dust caused irritation in equipment wear after astronauts returned to their landers. Future missions, which will last much longer, must account for this threat. Engineers are developing materials and systems designed to repel or remove dust before it enters living spaces. Even grooming becomes a technical task. Hair does not fall when cut. Each strand floats freely, capable of drifting into sensitive equipment or airways. To manage this, astronauts use clippers connected to vacuum systems that capture hair immediately. Tools are tethered, mirrors are mounted securely, and movements are slow and deliberate. These small routines help preserve comfort and mental well-being. In an environment where nearly everything is engineered for survival, familiar habits take on new importance, helping astronauts maintain a sense of self while adapting to life away from Earth. Gloves worn during spacewalks are among the most challenging pieces of a spacesuit. They must shield hands from vacuum, extreme temperatures, radiation, and high-speed debris, all while remaining pressurized. This makes them rigid and resistant to movement. Simple tasks like tightening fasteners or handling delicate components demand enormous effort. Every motion pushes against the glove itself. After hours of work, fingers can ache, nails can bruise, and joints can stiffen. Engineers continually test new designs, searching for materials and pressure systems that improve flexibility without sacrificing safety. Yet even the most advanced gloves remind astronauts that space is an environment where the human body is always at a disadvantage. Objects released during spacewalks do not fall away. They remain in orbit, tools that set free become small satellites circling Earth at high speeds over the years. Astronauts have lost cameras, clamps, and even entire toolkits. All individual items pose little immediate danger. They add to a growing calculation of debris surrounding the planet. Old satellites, fragments from collisions, and discarded components all share crowded orbital paths. At orbital velocities, even a small object can cause serious damage. Tracking and managing this debris has become a critical responsibility, shaping how future missions are planned and executed. Survival on Mars will depend entirely on engineered systems. Although the planet has an atmosphere, it offers almost no breathable oxygen. The air is thin and dominated by carbon dioxide. For humans to live there, oxygen must be generated continuously using machines that extract it from the environment or from frozen water beneath the surface. These systems must operate in brutal conditions, enduring dust storms, intense radiation, and extreme cold. Redundancy is essential. Backup systems, emergency reserves, and repair capabilities will be required to prevent failure. On Mars, breathing becomes a mechanical process rather than a natural one. Some proposals suggest that early missions may not include a return journey. Traveling to Mars takes months, and launching back requires fuel that is difficult to transport or produce. Long exposure to reduced gravity and radiation could leave astronauts physically unable to withstand. A return to Earth's bones may weaken, muscles may atrophy, and organs may adapt in ways that make re-entry dangerous. In this context, Mars exploration becomes a form of settlement rather than visitation. The first explorers may remain, building lives far from the planet that shaped them. Propulsion behaves differently once a spacecraft escapes Earth's atmosphere. Without air resistance, engines operate with greater efficiency, producing precise bursts of acceleration. But this efficiency increases the stakes. Fuel must carry its own oxidizer to burn, and any miscalculation can have irreversible consequences. Each ignition adjusts the spacecraft's trajectory with extreme precision. There is no opportunity to slow down gradually or correct large errors later. Navigation becomes a matter of careful planning and exact timing, guiding a fragile vehicle across immense distances. Temperature presents another constant challenge. In direct sunlight, spacecraft surfaces can reach searing heat. In shadow, they can plunge into deep cold within minutes. With no air to distribute warmth, temperature changes are abrupt and severe. To manage this, spacecraft are wrapped in layers of insulation, reflective materials, and radiators that regulate heat. Flow systems are designed to expand and contract repeatedly without failure. Non-drains must be kept within narrow limits. Fluids must remain liquid. Even the path a spacecraft follows around a planet influences how heat builds and dissipates. Each mission unfolds as a continuous effort to maintain balance in an environment that offers none. Space is defined by contrast. Any machine sent beyond Earth must endure relentless heat and sudden cold without warning or rest. Materials are tested not just for strength, but for their ability to survive constant transition. Every spacecraft exists in a state of adjustment, balancing energy absorbed and energy lost in an environment that never settles. On Mars, even the sky behaves differently. Sunsets, they do not burn red and gold like those on Earth. Instead, a thin atmosphere filled with fine dust particles scatters light in unexpected ways. As the sun lowers, a cool blue glow surrounds it, while the wider sky fades into myriad tones of rust and soft amber. The colors are faint, almost translucent, shaped by a world with very little air to bend the light. For future explorers watching the sun sink below the Martian horizon will feel both unfamiliar and quietly beautiful. A reminder that physics paints every planet with its own palette. Closer to home, one of the most serious dangers in space comes from what we have already left behind. Earth's orbit contains thousands of abandoned satellites, broken components, and fragments created by past collisions. These objects move at extreme speeds, fast enough that even the smallest piece can cause catastrophic damage. A particle no larger than a grain of sand can puncture shielding or crack reinforced glass. When objects collide, they create even more debris, increasing the risk over time. This cascading effect threatens to make certain orbits unusable. Space agencies monitor debris constantly, adjusting spacecraft paths to avoid impacts. But the problem continues to grow with every launch. Preparing humans for this environment begins on Earth. Often underwater, astronauts train in enormous pools that hold full-scale replicas of space station modules. By carefully adjusting buoyancy, trainers create conditions that resemble weightlessness. Movements must be controlled and deliberate. A gentle push can send the body drifting. Tasks that seem simple on land require focus, and coordination crews rehearse procedures repeatedly, learning how to work method I read when every action has delayed consequences. These sessions are physically exhausting and mentally demanding, but they offer the closest experience to space without leaving the planet. Time itself behaves subtly differently in orbit, as predicted by relativity, speed and gravity influence how time passes. Astronauts circling Earth travel fast enough. They experience reduced gravitational pull, yet their clocks tick slightly faster than those on the ground. The difference is tiny, measurable only with precise instruments, but it is real. Over longer journeys and higher speeds, the effect becomes more pronounced. Space travel does not just move humans through distance, but through time itself, revealing that time is not fixed. It's shaped by motion and mass. Radiation adds another layer of strangeness. Some astronauts report seeing brief flashes of light while resting in darkened cabins, even with their eyes closed. These flashes occur when high-energy particles pass through the body, interacting radiation adds another layer of strangeness. Some astronauts report seeing brief flashes of light while resting in darkened cabins, even with their eyes closed. These flashes occur when high-energy particles pass through the body, interacting with the nervous system or retina. The particles originate from distant cosmic events and travel across the universe before reaching human eyes. While usually harmless in short missions, these interactions offer insight into how radiation affects perception and brain function. For deeper journeys into space, such effects may become more frequent. Extended missions also place heavy demands on the skeleton. Months or years spent in reduced gravity allow bones to weaken as the cells responsible for maintaining density slow their activity. Minerals gradually leave the bone structure, reducing strength. Exercise helps but cannot fully prevent the loss. Recovery after returning to Earth can take years, and full restoration is not always possible. If humans eventually settle on Mars, generations may adapt to lower gravity, developing bodies shaped by a different world. Bone itself may become a record of where humanity chooses to live. Each of these changes unfolds quietly, not as sudden danger, but as a steady reshaping of what it means to be human beyond Earth. Bone loss remains one of the most difficult problems to solve for long-duration space travel. It challenges more than medicine. It forces scientists to reconsider how the human body might function when removed from the steady pull that shaped it. Musculoskeletons and organs evolved under constant gravity. Without it, survival requires redesigning not just spacecraft, but the conditions that allow bodies to remain strong over time. In microgravity, nothing stays where it is placed. Any object released from a hand begins to drift inside a spacecraft. Even the smallest item can become a hazard if it floats into the wrong place. Tools can block vents, interfere with equipment, or collide with delicate systems during spacewalks. The risk increases. An object that escapes an astronaut's grip can enter orbit and remain there indefinitely. To prevent this, nearly everything is secured. Tools equipped, tethered, logged, and returned to specific locations. There is no casual movement, no setting something down absent-mindedly. Daily life becomes an exercise in discipline, teaching humans to coexist with an environment that does not forgive inattention. Basic needs must also be re-engineered. Toilets in space cannot rely on gravity to move waste. Instead, airflow is used to guide it safely into containment systems. Solid waste is compressed and stored. All liquid waste is filtered and purified, often returning as drinking water. The system must operate flawlessly. Any failure would create serious problems in the confined interior of the spacecraft. Using these systems requires training and precision. Privacy is limited, and maintenance is constant. In orbit, even the most personal routines become carefully managed processes. The sun, all essential to life, can also pose serious danger. At times it releases enormous bursts of energy that send charged particles racing through space. These solar storms can overlap spacecraft with radiation on Earth. The magnetic field absorbs much of this impact. Astronauts do not have that protection. During intense events, crews must move quickly into shielded areas, often surrounded by water, or supplies that help absorb radiation. Electronics can also be disrupted, risking communication and navigation. Future missions must rely on early warning systems. The safe zones designed specifically for these moments. Exploration beyond Earth requires constant awareness of a star that both sustains and threatens life. Movement itself changes on other worlds. The moon's weaker gravity allows a human body to travel differently, with enough speed and endurance, a suited astronaut could traverse its visible horizon in a remarkably short time. Pounding in long, slow arcs, each step would lift the body higher and farther than anything possible on Earth. The sky would remain dark even in daylight, filled with stars. Though the terrain and equipment could make such movement demanding, imagining it highlights how profoundly gravity shapes experience. On other worlds, even meaning becomes unfamiliar. Unlike Earth, spacecraft cannot rely on a natural atmosphere. Every breath must be manufactured and maintained inside. Air composition is carefully controlled, oxygen levels are monitored. Carbon dioxide is continuously removed. Humidity is regulated to prevent condensation from damaging equipment. Pressure must remain stable, because even a small leak could allow air to escape into space. Redundant systems stand ready in case of failure, and astronauts train for emergencies that require rapid response. As humans plan habitats on the Moon or Mars, these systems will expand into enclosed environments, complete with controlled climates and sealed boundaries separating life from vacuum. The International Space Station appears to float effortlessly, but it is in constant motion. It is always falling toward Earth, yet it never reaches the ground because it moves forward fast enough. But the planet curves away beneath it. This balance creates orbit, a continuous free fall that produces weightlessness inside. Astronauts float because they are falling together with their surroundings. To remain aloft, the station must periodically adjust its speed, countering the faint drag of the upper atmosphere. Orbit is not the absence of gravity. It is a precise dance with it. Beyond mechanics and motion, space can be explored through senses other than sight. Some instruments do not observe light at all. They detect radio waves and chemical signatures emitted by clouds of gas and dust drifting between stars. These signals can be translated into data, revealing the composition and movement of distant regions of the galaxy. In this way, the universe communicates through invisible channels, offering the faint drag of the upper atmosphere. Orbit is not the absence of gravity, it is a precise dance with it. Beyond mechanics and motion, space can be explored through senses other than sight. Some instruments do not observe light at all. They detect radio waves and chemical signatures emitted by clouds of gas and dust drifting between stars. These signals can be translated into data, revealing the composition and movement of distant regions of the galaxy. In this way, the universe communicates through invisible channels, offering the faint drag of the upper atmosphere. Orbit is not the absence of gravity. It is a precise dance with it. Beyond mechanics and motion, space can be explored per senses other than sight. Some instruments do not observe light at all. They detect radio waves and chemical signatures emitted by clouds of gas and dust drifting between stars. These signals can be translated into data, revealing the composition and movement of distant regions of the galaxy. In this way, the universe communicates through invisible channels, offering information that extends far beyond what the human eye can see. Among the signals, astronomers detect our chemical fingerprints, surprisingly familiar to life on Earth. Certain clouds contain compounds associated with fruity or sweet aromas, while others reveal alcohols, ring-shaped carbon molecules, and complex organic structures. These substances are identified not by scent, but by how they absorb and emit energy across space. When scientists translate these signals into sensory references, they gain a new way to imagine the galaxy. Regions near dying stars and newborn suns are filled with drifting chemistry. hinting that the ingredients for life are not rare, but scattered widely across the cosmos. In this sense, astronomy reaches beyond sight alone. It blends physics, chemistry, and biology into a single discipline, allowing humans to experience distant environments through instruments rather than direct contact. The universe becomes something that can be interpreted, not just observed. Time itself may become one of the greatest challenges of future exploration according to relativity. Motion and gravity influence how quickly time passes. Astronauts orbiting Earth age slightly less than those on the ground, the difference measurable only with precise clocks, while the effect is small in low Earth orbit. It grows with speed and distance. Travelers approaching the speed of light would experience time much more slowly than those left behind. Journeys lasting years for the crew could span generations on Earth. Time, once thought universal, becomes another variable shaped by movement through space. Returning from orbit already reveals how deeply the body depends on gravity. After months in microgravity, balance systems weaken, muscles lose strength, and coordination suffers. Standing and walking can feel unfamiliar. Blood rushes downward, causing dizziness and instability. Astronauts often require assistance at first, using harnesses and guided exercises to relearn basic movement. Recovery can take weeks or longer. This process offers insight into what humans may face on living on worlds with different gravity. Adaptation does not end with arrival. It continues long after coming home. Mars presents its own environmental trials. Though cold and dry, its atmosphere is active. Winds lift fine dust into storms that can expand across the entire planet. These storms reduce sunlight, sometimes for months, and coat surfaces with abrasive particles. Solar-powered equipment can lose efficiency, and exposed systems must withstand constant impact. The dust contains chemicals that are hazardous to both machines and lungs. Habitats and vehicles must be designed to endure long periods without direct sunlight and to prevent contamination inside living spaces. As missions grow longer, medicine enters new territory. Space flight affects more than muscles and bones. Changes in fluid distribution can increase pressure in the eyes, altering vision. The immune system may respond differently, allowing dormant infections to reappear. The brain adjusts to new sensory inputs, sometimes affecting sleep and perception. Healing processes may slow or change as cells behave differently without gravity. Each expedition reveals new biological responses, expanding our understanding of how life functions beyond its original environment. Beyond biology, space presents constant physical hazards. Micrometeorites, tiny fragments moving at extreme speeds, fill interplanetary space. Though often smaller than grains of sand, their velocity gives them enormous energy. A direct hit can puncture materials and damage critical systems. To counter this, spacecraft are built with layer shielding designed to absorb or deflect impact. Spacesuits include reinforced unchanged. Cells behave differently without gravity. Each expedition reveals new biological responses, expanding our understanding of how life functions beyond its original environment. Beyond biology, space presents constant physical hazards. Micrometeorites, tiny fragments moving at extreme speeds, fill interplanetary space. Though often smaller than grains of sand, their velocity gives them enormous energy. A direct hit can puncture materials and damage critical systems. To counter this, Spacecraft are built with layer shielding designed to absorb or deflect impacts. Spacesuits include reinforced and changed, standing beside evidence of earlier journeys preserved by the absence of weather. Life in space depends on maintaining a fragile boundary. A spacecraft is a sealed environment holding air against vacuum. Even a tiny breach can allow atmosphere to leak away. Such leaks are often gradual, detected only by sensors monitoring pressure. Microscopic debris or manufacturing flaws can create openings small enough to escape notice at first. Crews trained to respond quickly, locating and sealing breaches with specialized materials. Walls are laid, redundant, and alarms are constant. Stealth survival depends on the integrity of a barrier thinner than most everyday structures inside. Familiar air becomes a limiting a fragile boundary. Spacecraft is a sealed environment holding air against vacuum. Even a tiny breach can allow atmosphere to leak away. Such leaks are often gradual, detected only by sensors monitoring pressure. Microscopic debris or manufacturing flaws can create openings small enough to escape notice in first crews, trained to respond quickly, locating and sealing breaches with specialized materials. Walls are laid, redundant, and alarms are constant. Still, survival depends on the integrity of a barrier thinner than most everyday structures. Inside, familiar air becomes a limiting and a fragile boundary. A spacecraft is a sealed environment holding air against vacuum. Even a tiny breach can allow atmosphere to leak away. Such leaks are often gradual, detected only by sensors monitoring pressure. Microscopic debris or manufacturing flaws can create openings small enough to escape notice in first crews trained to respond quickly, locating and sealing breaches with specialized materials. Walls are laid, redundant, and alarms are constant. Still, survival depends on the integrity of a barrier thinner than most everyday structures. Inside, familiar air becomes a limiting resource. On the moon, human traces remain untouched. When astronauts first walked across its surface, their footprints pressed into fine dust that has not shifted since. There is no wind to erase them, no rain to wash them away. Tool marks and tracks from X-raying vehicles still lie exactly where they were left. These impressions may persist for millions of years, altered only by rare impacts. They are quiet records of a brief human visit to another world. Future explorers may encounter these marks unchanged, standing aside evidence of earlier journeys preserved by the absence of weather. Life in space depends on maintaining a fragile boundary. The spacecraft is a sealed environment holding air against vacuum. Even a tiny breach can allow atmosphere to leak away. Such leaks are often gradual, detected only by sensors monitoring pressure. Microscopic debris or manufacturing flaws can create openings small enough to escape notice in first crews, trained to respond quickly, locating and sealing breaches with specialized materials. Walls are laid, redundant, and alarms are constant. Still, survival depends on the integrity of a barrier thinner than most everyday structures. Inside, familiar air becomes a limiting resource. Protection during spacewalks relies on carefully chosen materials. The visors of astronaut helmets are coated with an extremely thin layer of gold. This layer reflects infrared radiation, reducing heat and shielding eyes from intense sunlight. Gold is stable and resistant to corrosion, weak and reliable under extreme conditions, along with other layers that block ultraviolet light and physical debris. It helps regulate temperature and visibility. In space, ancient elements and modern engineering work together. A metal prized for its beauty on Earth becomes a practical defense against the unfiltered energy of a nearby star. Scientists have deliberately sent living microbes beyond Earth to learn how life responds when stripped of familiar protection. Samples of bacteria have been carried into orbit and, in some cases, placed directly outside spacecraft where they faced vacuum, radiation, and severe temperature swings. Many entered dormant states and survived far longer than expected. Others showed unexpected changes, growing more rapidly or developing increased resistance to environmental stress. When returned to Earth, some samples remained viable. These results reshape how we think about life's durability. They also raise deeper questions about whether microscopic organisms could travel naturally between worlds. Carried by rocks ejected from planetary impacts, studying microbial behavior in space also offers insight into how human health may change on long missions. Since microorganisms adapt more quickly than complex organisms, weightlessness also alters how matter itself forms on Earth. Gravity influences how liquids settle and how crystals grow, often introducing tiny imperfections in orbit. Materials can solidify more heat, researchers who produce exceptionally pure crystals in space, studying their properties for potential use in medicine, electronics, and advanced engineering. Some alloys behave differently when mixed without gravity-driven separation. Microgravity becomes a labor artery where matter reveals behaviors hidden on Earth. Though current experiments are limited, they suggest a future where certain forms of manufacturing may be more effective beyond the planet's surface. Preparing for spaceflight extends far beyond physical conditioning. Astronauts spend months, sometimes years, training their minds as much as their bodies. Life in space means confinement, isolation, and prolonged separation from familiar environments. To prepare, crews practice in remote habitats, underwater facilities, and controlled isolation chambers. They work with psychologists, learn stress management techniques, and rehearse coping strategies for fear, monotony, and uncertainty. Even viewing Earth from orbit can provoke intense emotions ranging from awe to homesickness. Mental readiness becomes as essential as technical skill. Emotional expression changes in orbit. Without gravity, tears behave differently. Moisture gathers into roundy droplets that cling to the eyes and face. These droplets can blur vision and must be carefully wiped away to prevent them from drifting into equipment. Astronauts are trained to manage these moments, not only for safety but for emotional health. Stress, fatigue, and distance from home can amplify feelings. Crying in space becomes a quiet reminder that beneath fears of technology, where every second matters. The physics of vacuum presents one of the most immediate dangers. Without pressure, bodily fluids would begin to boil at normal body temperature. Gases dissolved in the blood would expand, oxygen would escape from the lungs, and consciousness would be lost within seconds. The skin might briefly contain the expansion, but damage would occur rapidly. This is why spacesuits maintain internal pressure, recreating Earth-like conditions around the body. They are not simply insulation against cold, but protection against the absence of pressure itself in space. Emptiness is as dangerous as any physical force. Reaching Mars adds another layer of complexity. Slowing a spacecraft for landing is especially difficult because the planet's atmosphere is extremely thin. It offers little resistance to decelerating, coming vehicles. Heat shields, parachutes, and rockets must work together with perfect timing. Parachutes must deploy in air far less dense than Earth, while rockets must ignite precisely to prevent impact. Dust storms can obscure sensors in the margin for error. A small landing on Mars becomes a careful balance between speed, fuel, and fragile technology. Her every second matters. Her every second matters. or every second matters. Or every second matters. When a spacecraft approaches Mars, it is moving at extraordinary speed. There are only a few critical minutes to reduce velocity, adjust direction, avoid hazardous terrain, and make contact with the surface. Engineers describe this phase as controlled chaos. Heat shields absorb immense friction, parachutes deploy in thin air, and engines ignite in precise sequences. Some missions use air cushions or suspended descent systems to soften impact. Every method is tested repeatedly, yet uncertainty remains. Mars landings are among the most complex maneuvers ever attempted, where success depends on flawless timing and systems working in harmony under extreme conditions. Daily life in orbit offers little separation from others. Spacecraft interiors are compact, designed for efficiency rather than comfort. Astronauts sleep in small compartments that provide minimal isolation. Sounds from ventilation systems and neighboring modules carry easily. Conversations, movements, and routines overlap. Cameras and sensors monitor exit for safety, reducing personal privacy even further. Shared facilities in constant proximity require patience and emotional awareness. Crews train extensively to manage interpersonal dynamics, learning how to create mental space even when physical space is limited. In such environments, quiet moments become intentional acts rather than natural occurrences. Personal care must adapt to these constraints. Without gravity, water cannot flow freely. Instead of showers, astronauts clean themselves using damp cloths and specially formulated soaps that do not require rinsing. Small amounts of water are applied carefully and remove immediately. Hair is cleaned with no rinse solutions and dried using airflow. The process is deliberate and controlled, preventing stray droplets from floating away. Though effective, it lacks the refreshing quality of Earth's bathing rituals. These routines become symbolic, small efforts to maintain comfort and normalcy in a place that offers neither naturally. Much of an astronaut's time is devoted to experimentation. Orbiting laboratories allow scientists to study phenomena impossible to observe on Earth. Cells divide differently without gravity. Fluids behave unpredictably. Flames burn in unfamiliar shapes. Equipment must be secured, and every movement planned. Astronauts learn to work with restraint systems and gloved hands, manipulate instruments while floating. Experiments range from biological studies to material science and physics. Each task demands creativity and precision, transforming routine actions into exercises in adaptation. Knowledge gained in these conditions informs future technology, medicine, and exploration. Observation itself carries risk. Spacecraft windows are engineered for multiple layers of tough materials, yet they are constantly struck by tiny particles traveling at extreme speeds. These impacts leave small marks that accumulate over time, affecting clarity and strength. Crews monitor window condition closely, sometimes shielding them or replacing panels as damage increases. Despite this wear, windows remain invaluable. They offer views of Earth, space, and passing landscapes that ground astronauts psychologically. Each scratch is evidence of the environment beyond, a reminder that even protected observation comes with exposure. Mars experiences cycles familiar in name but unfamiliar in scale. Its journey around the sun takes nearly twice as long as Earth's, stretching seasons into extended periods. Temperatures drop dramatically during long winters, while summers bring dust and shifting winds. The planet's actual tilt creates variations in sunlight that drive seasonal change. Polar ice grows in the trees and atmospheric gases freeze and supplement. Future inhabitants would need to adjust to a calendar that feels both recognizable and altered, where time unfolds at a slower planetary pace. Back in low Earth orbit, motion defines daily experience. Space stations circle the planet roughly every 90 minutes. Continents, oceans, and crowd formations slide past below in a continuous stream day and night. alternate rapidly with multiple sunrises and sunsets each day. Light sweeps across the planet's curve, outlining coastlines and weather systems from this vantage. Earth appears dynamic and whole, a constantly changing surface viewed from a moving freight. Suspended in space from orbit, rivers trace the surface of Earth like fine strands of light. At night, storms illuminate entire regions with pulses of lightning. Every ripple silently through cloud systems, political boundaries vanish, completely replaced by mountains, coastlines, and flowing water. Many astronauts describe a profound change in perception when viewing Earth this way. Seeing the planet as a single shared world drifting through darkness can permanently alter how a person understands home, responsibility, and connection. Suborbit rivers trace the surface of Earth like fine strands of white. At night, storms illuminate entire regions with pulses of lightning. The movement through space introduces unexpected electrical challenges. The spacecraft passed through charged particles trapped in Earth's magnetic field. They can accumulate static electricity. This buildup creates voltage differences across surfaces, sometimes strong enough to cause electrical discharges. Such sparks can interfere with instruments or damage sensitive systems. Engineers counter this by designing pathways that allow charge to disperse safely, preventing dangerous imbalances. Managing electrostatic effects is especially important for satellites and probes operating in high radiation regions in space. Even motion through emptiness generates forces that must be carefully controlled. Spacesuits themselves are feats of engineering worn directly on the body. On Earth, a fully equipped suit can weigh more than the person inside it. Training in these suits is physically demanding, often done underwater or with suspension systems to reduce strain. In orbit, the weight disappears, but the suit's complexity remains. Each one is tailored to its wearer and mission, integrating life support, temperature control, communication, and protection into a single garment. Gloves, joints, and seals are designed to balance mobility with safety. The spacesuit is not clothing in the usual sense. It is a personal spacecraft built to sustain life where none exists naturally. As human activity expands, questions arise about ownership beyond Earth. Early agreements treated space as a shared domain, free from national claims. Today, new ambitions complicate that vision. Private companies plan resource extraction. Nations discuss long-term settlement, so orbits go crowded with satellites. Legal frameworks struggle to keep pace with technology. Who controls access to lunar ice or asteroid minerals? How are conflicts resolved far from Earth? The future of space exploring will depend not only on engineering but on cooperation and governance that recognizes space as both opportunity and shared responsibility. Life support systems turn basic survival into an ongoing process. Breathing in space requires constant management. Oxygen must be supplied or generated, carbon dioxide removed, and moisture-regulated filters, pumps and sensors work continuously to maintain safe conditions. Any failure can escalate quickly, making redundancy essential. Astronauts trained to respond to atmospheric emergencies with speed and precision. In this environment, air is not ambient. It is engineered, monitored, and renewed every moment. Before humans establish permanent presence on Mars, machines may arrive first. Robotic systems are being developed to construct shelters using local materials by processing Martian soil into building components. These robots could create protective structures without transporting heavy supplies from Earth. They might assemble power systems, prepare landing zones, and test life support equipment in advance. This approach allows human crews to arrive to partially prepared environments, Experiments on Earth simulate these conditions in deserts and polar regions, testing whether autonomous construction can succeed far from support. Water behaves unlike anything familiar. In microgravity, without gravity to shape it, liquid gathers into floating spheres that drift freely. These droplets stretch, merge, and divide with gentle contact. Surface tension dominates, giving water a soft, elastic quality. Drinking, washing, and cleaning require sealed containers and careful handling. Even a small spill can become a roaming hazard in this setting. Water feels almost alive, responding to touch in ways impossible on Earth. Familiar substances reveal unfamiliar behaviors, reminding astronauts that gravity quietly governs much of daily life. Despite the strict efficiency of space missions, astronauts are allowed to carry a small personal object with them. These items are chosen carefully and often carry deep meaning. A photograph, a ring, the handwritten note, or a small symbol of home can offer comfort in an environment dominated by metal routines and silence stored among equipment. These keepsakes become quiet anchors in orbit. They serve as reminders of relationships, memories, and a world far below. When brought back to Earth, they return transformed by their journey, holding stories shaped by distance and weightlessness. Life aboard an orbiting station follows an unfamiliar rhythm, circling Earth roughly every 90 minutes. Astronauts witness repeated cycles of light and shadow. Sunrises appear as thin glowing arcs along the planet's edge, shifting through layers of color before fading again. Into night, cities sparkle briefly before disappearing, replaced by ocean dark mist or cloud cover. This rapid alternation reshapes the sense of time. Days are no longer defined by sunrise and sunset, but by schedules maintained through clocks and routines. Human exploration leaves traces behind across the moon and Mars. Objects remain where they were last used. Footprints, rover tracks, tools and discarded components rest undisturbed. In orbit, defunct satellites and small fragments drift alongside operational spacecraft. Some items were left intentionally, others abandoned due to risk or necessity. Together they form an unintended record of exploration one day. These remnants may be studied as the earliest artifacts of humanity's expansion beyond Earth, evidence of brief visits to distant environments. A spacecraft must function as a complete living system. It must provide air, manage waste, regulate temperature, store food, recycle water, and maintain pressure fire. When used, must be contained and controlled. Gravity absent in space must be compensated for through exercise or mechanical design to prevent physical decline. Every system depends on others, forming a tightly interconnected network outside the vessel. There is no assistance and no margin for failure. Survival relies on technology recreating the conditions that Earth provides naturally. Inside, sound replaces silence, air moves constantly through ducts. Equipment operates without pause, and structures shift as temperatures change. The station creeps and settles as it passes between sunlight and shadow. These noises become familiar. Even reassuring, they signal that systems are active and functioning. Absolute quiet will be alarming to sleep. Astronauts often use ear protection or background noise to soften the mechanical cores. Over time, the sounds become part of the environment, a steady reminder that life is being sustained moment by moment. Spacesuits themselves are pressurized environments to protect against vacuum. The suit maintains internal pressure similar to Earth's atmosphere. This pressure pushes outward, making movement more difficult. Every bend, grip, or turn requires effort to best the suit's resistance. Engineers counter this with articulated joints and layer materials that allow flexibility while maintaining safety. The suit also delivers oxygen, removes whose carbon dioxide regulates temperature and radiation and debris. Without pressurization, the body will be harmed rapidly. Each suit is a sealed refuge, enclosing a human within layers of engineered protection. None of our planets offer equal challenges compared to Venus. Ours is relatively forgiving. Venus is dominated by extreme heat, Prussian atmospheric pressure, and corrosive clouds. Temperatures are high enough to destroy most materials, and the dense atmosphere exerts immense force. Robotic missions survive only briefly before failing. Yet evidence suggests Venus was once more Earth-like, with conditions that may have supported liquid water. Studying this transformation helps scientists understand planetary climate and factors that preserve or destroy habitability. For now, Venus remains a world explored from afar, its surface too hostile for sustained presence. Growing food beyond Earth may be the key to becoming a truly spacefaring species. Long-term missions and permanent settlements cannot rely on constant resupply from one planet. Plants must grow in places without soil, rain, or sunlight. Experiments aboard orbiting laboratories have already shown that leafy greens and small crops can thrive under artificial lighting, using nutrient-rich water systems. These plants provide more than calories. They help refresh air, stabilize humidity, and offer a living presence in otherwise mechanical environments. Future farms on the Moon or Mars may use melted ice for water and recycled waste as nutrients. Fruits may anchor in gels or engineered substrates. Instead of dirt, plants themselves could adapt, growing differently in low gravity. With altered structures or growth patterns, farming beyond Earth becomes both survival strategy and psychological anchor, reconnecting humans to life cycles far from their home planet. One proposed solution to many health problems in space is artificial gravity. Instead of forcing the body to adapt indefinitely to weightlessness, engineers imagine habitats that rotate. As these structures spin, centrifugal force presses inhabitants gently toward the outer balls, creating a sensation in electric gravity. Designs range from large rotating rings to entire spinning settlements. Inside, people could walk lonely, sleep in beds, and live without constant physical decline. Over time, these environments could support families, animals, and agriculture. If successful, such habitats might become the first places where humans live permanently beyond Earth. Entire communities growing up inside, slowly turning worlds. Life in space requires acceptance of constant risk. Outside the walls of any spacecraft lies a vacuum that can destroy life in seconds. Inside, systems must function continuously. Fire, leaks, radiation, and mechanical failure are ever-present threats. If humans establish long-term settlements on other worlds, biology itself may begin to change. Children raised in lower gravity environments could develop differently. Bones might grow lighter, muscles adapt to reduce load, and balance systems adjust to unfamiliar cues over generations. Physical traits could diverge further. Eyes may adapt to different light levels. Skin may respond to altered radiation exposure. Even cardiovascular systems could evolve under new conditions. Humanity's future may include populations shaped by the worlds they inhabit, raising questions about identity and adaptation far beyond technology. The surfaces of other worlds carry subtle warnings. Lunar dust, for example, proved hazardous during early exploration when astronauts returned from the moon. Dust carried into their cabins released a sharp, burnt odor once exposed to air, The particles themselves are jagged and abrasive, formed by countless impacts without erosion. They cling to surfaces, irritate eyes and lungs, and damage equipment. Chemical reactions between oxygen and elements in the dust create the scent that first alerted explorers to its danger. Any future return to the moon will require careful management of this dust, which poses risks far beyond its quiet appearance. When a satellite reaches the end of its mission, it does not simply fall away. If it orbits high enough, it can remain circling Earth long after its sisters fail, drifting silently for generations. Thousands of inactive satellites and fragments now occupy space around the planet. Some are carefully guided into distant disposal orbits, but many older objects were left behind before such practices existed. Even the smallest fragments move at extraordinary speeds, capable of damaging active spacecraft. Collisions can produce clouds of debris that trigger further impacts, multiplying the danger. This cascading process threatens to make certain orbits unusable. Space agencies monitor debris constantly, adjusting spacecraft paths to avoid impacts, but the problem continues to grow with every launch. Beyond Earth's orbit, resources scattered throughout the solar system offer new possibilities. Certain asteroids contain vast quantities of metals and water locked in ice. These materials could support construction, fuel production, and life support systems far from Earth. Mining them would reduce the need to launch heavy supplies from the planet's surface. Autonomous machines are being designed to locate, extract, and process these materials in space. If successful, entire industries could develop beyond Earth, building spacecraft habitats and energy systems using resources gathered in vacuum. Protection from radiation remains one of the most difficult challenges. Earth's magnetic field deflects many high-energy particles, shielding life below. Spacecraft venturing beyond this protection face constant exposure. Engineers are exploring ways to generate artificial magnetic fields around ships, using electrical currents or plasma to form protective barriers. These fields could push charged particles aside, reducing radiation exposure during long journeys. Creating such systems without excessive energy demands remains complex, but progress in this area could make extended exposure far safer. Human life beyond Earth may eventually begin with children born away from the planet. A child raised in reduced gravity would develop differently from those on Earth. Their bones, muscles, and cardiovascular systems would adapt to a lighter environment. Sensory experiences would differ under altered light pressure and atmospheric conditions. Language, culture, and biology could slowly diverge as generations grow up, shaped by a new world. These individuals would still be human, but their experiences would reflect environments far removed from the one that shaped our species. Astronauts rely on technology to perceive much of the universe. Cameras sensitive to infrared and ultraviolet light reveal phenomena invisible to the human eye. Through these instruments, warm objects glow in darkness, energetic stars shine in unseen colors, and electrical activity becomes visible across planets and oceans. Such tools allow scientists to study heat transfer, radiation, and atmospheric innate. They also expand perception, showing that reality extends beyond what human senses evolved to detect. Timekeeping in space depends on Earth. Without natural day-night cycles, astronauts follow schedules synchronized to the planet below. Clocks dictate sleep, work, and rest. Even the spacecraft circle Earth multiple times a day. The familiar rhythm of terrestrial time provides structure. In orbit, time becomes something maintained deliberately, reminding travelers that their lives remain linked to the world turning beneath them. changes meaning as humans move farther from Earth. On Mars, a single day stretches slightly longer than one on Earth. On the Moon, daylight can last for weeks. In deep space, there is no natural cycle at all. No sunrise to begin a morning, no sunset to signal rest. Time becomes something carried internally, measured by clocks and mission logs rather than light and shadow. Even personal milestones lose clarity when days no longer resemble the ones that shaped human life. Away from planets, time exists as memory and routine, maintained because the human mind still needs structure. Some of the smallest worlds in the solar system offer the strangest experiences. Many asteroids are so small that gravity barely exists at all. On their surfaces, a person would weigh almost nothing. Walking becomes difficult while jumping becomes dangerous. A single push could send someone drifting away. Movement would resemble a series of gentle hops, carefully controlled to avoid escaping into space. Exploring such bodies would require tethers, anchors, or magnetic systems to keep astronauts attached. These environments reveal how deeply motion depends on the size and mass of a world. Gravity is not a constant. It is a local rule written by each object in space. If humans settle Mars, timekeeping itself will need to change. A Martian day is longer, and a Martian year nearly twice the length of Earth's seasonal cycles unfold slowly. Familiar calendars would no longer align with sunrise, work, or rest. Colonists would likely create new systems based on Mars' rotation and the movements of its small moon celebrations. Schedules and even age might be counted differently over time. Martian time would feel natural to those living there, while Earth's rhythms would feel distant. Time would become part of planetary identity, shaped by the sky and ground of a new home. The sun remains both ally and threat beyond Earth's magnetic shield. Solar radiation becomes dangerous. High-energy particles can damage electronics and harm living tissue. Spacecraft must carry protection in the form of laser shield, dependent on recycled air and water. Communicating with delays, they test food systems, repair protocols, and psychological resilience. Conflicts, fatigue, and problem solving are studied carefully. These simulations are not rehearsals, but experiments that shape real mission planning. They reveal how humans adapt when removed from familiar ecosystems and forced to rely entirely on technology and cooperation. Above Earth, another challenge grows quietly. Space around the planet is increasingly cluttered with debris from decades of exploration. Defunct satellites, broken rocket stages, and fragments from past collisions move at extreme speeds. Even small pieces can cause catastrophic damage. Collisions create more debris, which increases the likelihood of further impacts. This chain reaction threatens to make certain orbits unusable. If left unchecked, it could prevent future launches and endanger essential satellite services. Efforts underway to remove debris using specialized spacecraft and capture techniques. The future of spaceflight depends not only on reaching new destinations, but on preserving safe paths to leave Earth at all. Establishing a lasting human presence on the Moon will likely mean living beneath its surface. While the lunar landscape is striking, it offers little protection with no atmosphere, no shielding from radiation, and constant exposure to micrometeorites. The surface is an unforgiving place. Temperatures rise and fall dramatically as sunlight comes and goes. To escape these extremes, future settlements may be built under bed. To meet the surface lie natural formations such as ancient lava tunnels. Vast hollow passages created when molten rock once flowed and cooled. These spaces could be sealed and transformed into pressurized habitats, shielding residents from radiation. And temperature swings within stone walls formed billions of years ago. Humans could live, work, and grow food, protected from the vacuum only meters away. In space, every crew member must be prepared to repair what breaks. There are no service centers, no emergency responders nearby. When systems fail, the crew becomes the solution. Despite their rugged appearance, spacesuits are surprisingly vulnerable. Each suit consists of multiple layers designed to maintain pressure, regulate temperature, and protect against radiation and debris. A sharp edge or loose fastener can damage these layers. Even a small tear could allow air to escape, turning a minor accident into a serious emergency. Astronauts inspect their suits constantly, move cautiously during spacewalks, and rehearse procedures to minimize risk. Tools are designed with smooth surfaces, and spacecraft exteriors are carefully constructed to reduce hazards. In space, attention to detail becomes a form of self-preservation. Far beyond the planets, the silent traveler continues its journey. Launched in the late 20th century, a small robotic probe has passed the edge of the sun's influence and entered interstellar space. Though its instruments are slowly shutting down, it still sends faint signals back to Earth, carrying data from regions no spacecraft has explored before. Attached to it is a record of human culture, sounds, music, and messages intended for any intelligence that might one day find it. Long after its creators are gone, the probe will continue drifting through the galaxy, a quiet marker of a species that once reached beyond its world. Any permanent settlement on Mars must operate as a closed system. Supplies cannot be replenished easily, so everything must be recycled. Water will be extracted, purified, and reused repeatedly. Air will be regenerated by plants and filtration systems. Waste will be broken down and converted into usable resources. Energy must be produced reliably through solar arrays or other means, and stored for times when sunlight is scarce. Tools and materials will need to be repaired or repurposed rather than replaced. The colony must function like a living ecosystem, maintaining balance among its components. Success would demonstrate that humans can do more than visit distant worlds. They can build sustainable lives there. Within such environments, doors and seals become critical. In space, a hatch is not simply an entrance or exit. It is the boundary that holds the atmosphere against vacuum. Even a tiny flaw can allow air to leak away. Airlocks and doors are engineered with multiple layers of sealing and locking mechanisms to withstand enormous pressure. Differences: astronauts are trained to inspect these systems constantly, checking for wear, damage, or leaks on missions far from Earth. Failure is not an option. Each seal represents the thin line between life and emptiness, deserving constant care and respect. Building on Mars will depend on using the planet itself as raw material, transporting steel, concrete, or lumber across millions of kilometers would be impractical instead. Engineers are learning how to transform Martian soil into shelter. The fine iron-rich dust that blankets the surface can be heated until it fuses into solid blocks, or mixed with sulfur-based binders to form strong composites without water. Other methods rely on laser printing, where machines slowly shape walls and domes by depositing binding agents. Onto dust, some experiments even explore biological processes, using engineered microbes to create natural lattices. By learning to build with what Mars already provides, humans gain the ability to shape an alien world into a place of protection and permanence. Extended life without gravity alters how the brain understands space itself. On Earth, direction is instinctive. Gravity defines down, and the body orients automatically in orbit. A reference disappears, astronauts float freely, rotating without effort. For some, adaptation is quick. For others, disorientation persists. Studies show that regions of the brain responsible for spatial orientation can change after long missions. Returning to Earth requires relearning balance and movement. In the future, individuals raised entirely in microgravity or low gravity may never develop a gravity-based sense of direction at all. Their understanding of space may rely on visual cues, markings, and learned reference points, rather than instinct. Up and down may lose meaning, replaced by environments where orientation is defined by design. From orbit, storms reveal hidden complexity, lightning systems that feel overwhelming from the ground appear delicate from above. Vast networks of electrical discharge spread across continents and oceans, flashing silently through clouds. Some lightning reaches upward, sending energy toward the edge of space in luminous jets. Satellites and space stations also observe rare exosphere events that never touch the ground, glowing briefly in the upper atmosphere. These views highlight the thinness of Earth's air layer, where powerful forces unfold within a narrow band that sustains all weather and life. Liquid fresh water remains extraordinary rare. The first human step onto Martian soil will mark a profound transition. It will signal that humanity no longer belongs to only one world. That moment will reshape how future generations understand exploration, identity, and possibility. A footprint pressed into red dust will represent years of preparation and cooperation. Though the scene will be silent, without wind or sound, its meaning will extend far beyond the landscape. It will redefine the boundaries of human presence. Behind every mission lies a quiet battle, fought by machines. Spacecraft computers operate under constant exposure to radiation that would quickly disrupt ordinary electronics. High-energy particles can alter memory, trigger errors, or permanently damage circuits. To survive, onboard systems are built with hardened components, shielding, and redundancy. They sacrifice speed for reliability. These computers think slowly but endure conditions no consumer device could withstand. In space, intelligence must be resilient before it can be fast. Spacecraft computers are designed with caution built into every decision. Instead of trusting a single calculation, some systems run the same process multiple times in parallel. If one result differs, it is rejected by the others. Software is written to recognize errors, reset itself, and continue operating without waiting for instructions from Earth. These protections are essential. Without them, radiation-induced glitches could compromise navigation, life support, or scientific records long before a mission reaches its goal. In space, reliability matters more than speed. Every line of code must endure an environment that never rests. Looking farther ahead, scientists are exploring ways humans might survive journeys far longer than a single lifetime. Travel to nearby planets already takes months. Voyages beyond our solar system would require spans of time, measured in decades or centuries. One possibility is placing travelers into a state similar to deep sleep by lowering body temperature and slowly metabolism. Astronauts could conserve energy and resources while reducing physical stress. Medicine already uses controlled cooling to protect the brain after injury. Extending this approach to long-duration spaceflight remained experimental. The BID offers a way to bridge distances that would otherwise be impossible. A future crew might spend most of their journey asleep, awakening only when a new world appears outside the window. Some of the most beautiful sights in space belong to Earth itself. From orbit, the aurora does not appear as curtains in the sky, but as glowing rings encircling the planet's poles. Charged particles from the sun collide with gases high in the atmosphere, producing waves of color that ripple silently along the edge of the world. Seen from above, the lights trace Earth's magnetic shield like a living crown. During strong solar activity, a glow reigns and spreads, illuminating snow and cloud tops below. Astronauts often pause to watch, reminded that Earth is not just a place, but an active, energized system sustained by forces, both visible and unseen. Journeys beyond our solar neighbors may require a different kind of mission altogether. The nearest stars lie so far away that no single crew could survive the full passage. Some concepts imagine enormous spacecraft designed to support entire communities. These generation ships would carry families, not just explorers. Life would unfold entirely within their walls. Children would grow up knowing only the interior of the vessel, learning about Earth and the destination as history, and hope. Cultures would form, traditions would change, and the ship itself would become a world traveling to interstellar darkness. When arrival finally comes, there would be the descendants of the original crew who step into a new system, completing the journey begun generations earlier. As this quiet exploration comes to rest, allow the images to soften and drift away. We have imagined distant skies, fragile machines, and futures shaped far beyond Earth. Beyond the air we breathe lies a universe filled with silence, motion, and possibility. Is this calm journey brought you a sense of wonder or peace? You're welcome to like the video, subscribe, or leave a gentle thought below. It helps others discover the space of quiet curiosity.